Welcome to the Album Anniversary Podcast. Today's show is about Until This Shakes Apart by Five Iron Frenzy. It was released January 14th and 15th, 2021, so it is celebrating a 5-year anniversary. I'm your host, Caleb, or Caleb the Spy is what I go by on social media. And every day on social media, I do my best to post about what I call album anniversaries. It's me and Brock. We do it together. So on the Album Anniversary Podcast, we take a look at a classic album, an album we love, or an album that's important to us. Today, I have a very special guest. Reese Roper from Five Iron Frenzy has joined to talk about this album. Thanks so much for joining the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I say that at the beginning of every show, but if people who listen to the show know, Caleb's not just excited. Five Iron has been, my favorite band since about 1996. So
I'm so sorry.
You guys come up often on the show. I'm not going to lie.
Totally helps you get girls. That's what you're saying.
It didn't scare my wife away. I mean,
wow. That's how you know she's a keeper.
Yeah.
He's not a serial killer.
He's close though. I mean,
close. I'll take him.
I think it helped that you guys were broken up when we met. And
okay.
That did help.
You can't hurt me anymore.
Yeah, exactly. You guys came back and she was a little worried. She was like, she's really excited about this.
She should be scared.
She is. She's very, actually, in all seriousness, she's like stupid supportive of everything.
That's good.
It is good. So I made the joke when we were talking about this beforehand. This kind of completes my Christian ska trifecta.
Okay.
Joe's been on the show. Matt Morginski joined the show to talk about an album, and now you've joined the show. And I'll say it, this is it. This is, if you look back at the Christian ska scene, you guys were the big three, but I like making Mount Rushmores. I like the idea of not actually making them. I have no skills. But what's the four? If we were talking about comics beforehand, if you're going to make a Mount Rushmore of DC Comics, it's Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and the fourth one becomes tricky. I'll throw the Flash on there. I'm open to ideas. So in your opinion, the Christian ska Mount Rushmore, who's that fourth group? Who's
Squad 5-0.
Squad 5-0. Okay.
100% Squad 5-0.
Okay.
Yeah. And I would say they should be, if there was a top tier on Mount Rushmore, they should be on it.
Okay. Of just Christian music in general, or?
Of ska.
Okay.
And I know they broke from that, like we all did.
Right.
Towards when it hit 2000s, everybody's just like, you could see the rigor mortis growing in ska. And so I think everybody pushed towards rock.
Right.
So for them, it was like that kind of glam metal sound, which they killed it at.
Yeah.
They were amazing. So
yep.
For sure, I'd put those guys in there.
Okay. I was not expecting that answer. That's cool. Okay, so they're not in. So I had one more game that I wanted to play because I know you've had, not game, I don't know, whatever. I know you've had kind of a love-hate relationship with ska. I've heard this before that when you guys were touring, there was a lot of crappy ska bands opening up for you guys. Every local band got thrown in front of you. And it was later in life that Andy kind of helped you come back to the fold to join us again in the not having a hatred for ska. And so I was going to do a little kind of not ranking, but hey, I'll throw out a ska band. You just tell me which one you like better. I'll give you two and we'll see.
Two, and I pick the one I like better.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So I don't have Squad 5-0 in there. Well, we'll just crown them the champs at the end. That'll work. Okay. All right. So, I know this is going to get a little tricky. You're friends with some of these bands.
I know. I'm now I'm going to burn some bridges.
That's okay. No one will ever hear. We'll censor them all so nobody has any idea what any of these.
Do you like beep or bleep?
Exactly.
Oh, definitely bleep.
All right. The Dingies or Kill Lincoln?
The Dingies.
Okay. The Dingies are Real Big Fish, which I know you've played shows with them.
The Dingies.
Okay. The Dingies or the Supertones?
Are we talking about the Dingies now or back in the day?
I mean, whatever you need.
Tooth
It's
and nail
hard.
Dingies?
Yeah, let's go tooth and
The
nail
din-
Dingies.
I'm going to pick the Dingies.
Okay. The Dingies or the Specials?
I'm going to say the Dingies.
Okay. I
I'm going to
like where
say the
this is going.
Dingies. Yeah, like the Specials have like 4 songs that I really love, and the rest I'm just like, it feels like album filler.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah.
they hold a special spot. But yeah, I agree
Yep.
that, I mean, if I'm listening, I'm more likely to throw on a Dingies album than I'm a specials album. All right, so here's a newer one: the Dingies or Hey Smith. Are you familiar with Hey Smith?
I don't think I've heard Hey Smith.
Ooh, they played the one festival you guys played, the ska festival last year, I think it was.
Supernova.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not listen to them. They're rad?
They're excellent. They're from Japan, where ska is still really, really big. And they are fantastic. You should totally check out Hey Smith. So I'm taking the Dingies will win that one. All right, here's a tough one: the Dingies or Less Than Jake?
Less Than Jake.
Okay, Less Than Jake, or here's another new one. Have you ever heard of Bad Operation?
I have not.
Okay, there's another good one. They're a newer one. Out of New Orleans. So
Less Than Jake, maybe in my top 10 favorite bands of all time.
Okay,
At least let's say top 20, just because of their personalities. Like they're such awesome dudes.
Yeah, I mean, you've been on Chris's podcast. I mean, they were influential early on for you guys and kind of some of your approach to music.
We were just like, we should make music like this, and then we were opening for them, and they were such cool dudes.
Yeah, even I've heard even like the idea of like some of the way you guys approached like selling merch was kind of inspired by them, and just like keep it cheap.
Yeah. They're super like not just down to earth, but like DIY and very punk rock. And when they got signed to Capitol, one of the things that they made them write into their contract was that they got a certain number of like just these gift bags and stuff to give out to people at shows. So it'd be like those little sparker guns.
Yeah.
That said Less Than Jake, and like, like fun toys that cost nothing, for that label. And it was free advertising, but they wanted it. They were bound and determined to always have a $5 shirt when we started playing with them.
Yeah.
It was rad. So we started doing merch from the people that they did merch from, because we were like, we need this too.
Yeah.
And we also sold cheap merch at the time.
Yeah. I remember. I've bought a lot of shirts. I wonder if some of that is even from like Asian Man Records, because I think that's where Less Than Jake got their start, and that like Park's approach probably bled into them quite a bit.
Yes, and we all use the same screen printer, Streamline. They were out of golly, it was LA, but it was like Sepulveda Boulevard, just like in the hood. There is like this part of LA that's just like a garment district area. And so you could get cheap shirts there. I don't know if they were making them or importing them from Mexico, but like cheap. Like you could do a $5 t-shirt.
Right. Those days are so far gone. It's
so
not even funny. Oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things my kids will never experience. One of those, that's one $5 t-shirt at a concert. Never.
No.
Well, chance.
Yeah. And in the day, like Dennis, who went to college for business, he was like, we need 100% markup. So whatever you do, it's got to have 100% markup. So I had to find us a place that would sell us a t-shirt, print them and ship them. And we paid less than $2.50 a piece.
Wow.
So we could sell them for $5. And
that's
we
amazing.
did.
That's amazing.
We did. It was white shirts, which nobody buys. That was the problem.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
Because those were the cheap ones.
Yeah. I definitely wouldn't look good in a white shirt. I'm going to stick to the black ones. All right, I got a couple more.
Okay, I'm ready.
Less Than Jake or Operation Ivy?
Phew. I mean, Op Ivy has one album, and it has like one bad song on it. And it's not bad. It's just the lyrics are no more bad town. No more bad town. Like...
Yeah. It's a short-lived band, but it's so influential.
In terms of historical greatness, I'm going to pick Up Ivy.
Okay. Let's do Op Ivy, or I'm going to throw a couple Mike Park related ones. Skank and Pickle and Bruce Lee Band. I'll throw those together, see if the power of them can even rival Op Ivy.
I think Skank and Pickle probably was a bigger influence on Five Iron Frenzy early on.
Yeah.
Like it might have been the first ska we heard. I think some of us had heard like Op Ivy, but at that time, like Sing Along with Skank and Pickle came out.
Sure.
Right when we were starting, and we were like, we're doing this.
Right.
I don't know, man. In terms of historical importance, we got to stick with Op Ivy, but in terms of what influenced Five Iron, I would say Skank and Pickle way more.
Okay. That tracks. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
All right, and then I'll throw one last one at you. We're down to Op Ivy or Catbite.
Jeez.
I'll go with the ultimate new one.
I know, man. I love Catbite. I love the people in Catbite. They're so cool. Shit balls. I'm gonna stay with Op Ivy.
That's fair.
I love Catbite though, and I saw the whole set with Laura Jane Grace singing Op Ivy with them playing.
Yeah,
and they were so tight. Like
yes.
I was losing my mind. I would just turn around to people I didn't know and just scream like a girl.
Yeah, I've gotten to see them. Is it twice now? I want to say 3 times, but I think it's only twice. And because they were kind of like when you guys started, right? They're just on tour constantly.
Yeah.
They're such a tight group, and like just they do not miss a beat. They're so good. So they're a great backup. I mean, if you're going to hire a backup band, holy cow, do they work well together. I mean, it's just incredible in my opinion.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I wanted to talk a little ska because I've got ska problems. I'll be totally blunt. And so I just kind of wanted to go through a little.
I feel like anybody who likes ska has a problem. You have some social awkwardness.
I do. I'm not going to lie.
Everybody.
You'd think talking to people for a living, I would have less of it. I don't. I'm just this awkward about everything.
Yeah. I just feel like at this point, I can talk to people and I can hang out, do all kinds of things. I can be on podcasts. It's just advanced pretending. That's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, maybe I need to teach this to my kids.
It's Guys, advanced pretending.
Hey, I am imagination.
I am imagining that I'm gregarious. and then you can do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like we do on every show, we're going to go through some just facts about the album, just to kind of level set for people who may be unaware. My guess is a lot of these are going to be pretty well known, but released, like I said at the top of the show, released January 14th, 2021, and also January 15th. I think if you were a Kickstarter backer, you got it on the 14th, but I think the official street date is the 15th. That's my recollection.
That's what you get for giving us the $287,000. You get it 1 day early.
1 day early, exactly.
Yeah,
I had no issue with it. It was a surprise because I don't think it was announced. Like it wasn't like, hey, you're getting it next week. It was just all of a sudden an email.
You got it early.
Hey, here you go.
That's rad.
Yeah,
we're not very organized, so that's cool that we did that. I think it was probably brought up. This is why we're not organized, because we're a democracy. It's like everybody has a vote. And so if we're discussing something and we don't immediately all decide yes, we don't decide anything. Oh. So like, we're probably like, we should do this early. Hey, you know what else we should do? What if we gave away little bobbleheads with it? Or what if we had little erasers with our name on it? And then somebody would be like, well, what if we cut this song off the album? And then you're just like in a different thread and it will never get decided.
And is it all over text too? So that probably complicates it even more.
Yeah, or we'll do like a Zoom call,
Oh,
which
okay.
like only Leonore loves. She's just like, Zoom, I get to see all my friends. And all of us are doing it at work all the time, especially when this came out. It was in the middle of COVID. So we're like, please, no more. I don't want to go home and be on another Zoom call.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
oh man.
When we toured and we were all in a van or in a bus, it was easy because you couldn't leave. You had to make decisions, and we were all there. So we were just like, and I think we honed the ability. Like I was in charge of merch, Keith was in charge of shows, Dennis was in charge of business. And when you brought up something to decide, you would give no more than 3 options. Do you want this shirt, or this shirt? I like both of those. Okay, both those. Like easy. And then you made a decision and then you just go with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I would guess now with just
it's chaos.
Time is not a help when you're trying to make decisions.
No.
Like having a deadline is probably the biggest help you can get. So
yeah.
So
yes, it is.
You mentioned the Kickstarter. You guys have done it twice now.
Yes.
I'm assuming there's some great things about it, and I'm assuming there's some things you guys just absolutely hate about it. Is that true, or is it like all great?
No, it's all it's half and half. Like it is. It is great. The first one we did, we just were like, how are we going to pay for it? And like, well, we probably need 15,000, but let's set it for 30. And that way, just in case there's extra expenses, we can do it.
Right.
And we'll make a free song, like we'll make a free song. We can afford this because Dennis, like his business paid the rent for the studio, and Jeremy was his like on staff producer guy.
Yeah.
So all we had to pay for was flights out there. And we did have like some income from streaming stuff and album sales still going. I don't think we had a store. I think it was just streaming stuff. And so we had enough that we were like, yeah, people can fly out. Dennis lives in New Jersey, so we could pay for it. Or, like stay at his house, take the train in. Whoever's turn it is can fly in like for 2 days, record their part. We'll do this, this one song and then give it away. In our heads, we're thinking, well, this is what I would want if I was going to support a Kickstarter, which was new at the time, So when we did it, then it was insane. Like we watched it in like less than an hour, break the 30. And then for like, we made it go for like 60 days because we thought we wouldn't make it. And it was just like, all of a sudden we kept breaking the Kickstarter record. Like it just kept going up and up. And we're like, we don't have, maybe we should make some more things like handwritten lyrics. We'll do all this. So I had no clue how to do it. And just no idea how big it was going to be.
Yeah.
So for Kickstarter, like it's really great advertising. Like it is a really good way to just plug people in and go, like you're part of this. You saw it at the beginning, you get a free song. And now you're contributing, and here's some updates. We're doing this today. This is happening. This is cool. So like in terms of that, great. And it lets you know where you sit, like in terms of an album, like how much can we spend? So definitely for Engine of a Million Plots, we were blown away. We're just like, we have so much money. We never made this much money touring. Well, the thing is that like you still have to fulfill all that stuff.
Yeah.
And you've got to pay for the shipping, like we had fans everywhere. So we're losing money sending stuff to like the Czech Republic and all this. But like at the end, after we paid for the album, paid for all our expenses and stuff, each one of us probably, I want to say we probably got a check for like $5,000, and it was really just to buy new gear.
Sure.
So for me, I was like, I'm going to get a new computer. Like I don't have gear. So, it was great. Now for the other guys, like they all like I think Micah had sold his amps.
Hmm.
Like he had one guitar and then he's like, I need a different one.
Right.
Bought new amps. It's weird too, because like we didn't think we would play shows ever again. And
Right.
so we had factored into that. Like if we break 100,000, we'll play a show. And then we did, and we're like, oh yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
We should do more. And so then it was like, yep, buy more gear. We're gonna go do this. We'll try and go on tour. The second one we were smarter about, like where Reese is not writing 100 handwritten copies of every new day.
I thought that might come up.
Yeah, it was super. Like I was super meticulous. People paid $100 for it, so
Yeah.
so I'm like, it's got to be on really nice parchment. I'll get a really nice pen. I'm writing in like ink every time I messed up. Like
Got to start all over. Oh,
start
man.
over the whole thing.
Oh,
And so that had to take me like a year to get all those done.
yeah.
I was so frustrated with that. We had a bunch of things that ended up costing a lot of time to fulfill.
Yeah.
That's the downside of it, is that like and Kickstarter, I think you pay them 30%
Yeah.
of what you make.
That's what I was wondering. How much did they take?
Somebody told us they were at a party with the president, and he was just like, they were like, oh yeah, a band I'm friends with is on Kickstarter, and he's like, who is it? And they're like 500 friends, and he's like, they just made me so rich. so
Ironically, something Frank Tate probably never said,
Never. No. So yeah. We will probably do the next album on Kickstarter because it's a good method of free advertising, and people get plugged in, like they belong to it.
Yeah.
Before we got on, we were talking about Steve Taylor. I just got that Russ Taff vinyl that he put out.
Yeah.
And man, if I wasn't a fan of Steve Taylor, like I still would have just crapped myself just at how cool it was and how many updates he put out, and like all the different tiers and stuff. But yeah, man, he's like one of my heroes, so I was super stoked. I saved the box that he sent it in.
Yeah, because I heard a couple of people did that because it came from his home address, and people were like,
"So Steve Taylor,
it's a little creepy, but I'm keeping it."
Mm-hmm. It's right behind me in one of on the shelf. I did save it, but I mean, like, it's kind of creepy. I also have his phone number. Like, I can just call him and be like, "Hey, dude, I tried to get him to go to the last ELO concert with me in London." I was like, Steve, I bought an extra ticket and I don't know what to do with it. And he was like, I just got back from London.
Oh,
or
man.
I would go, well, good news is for Steve is they canceled it. So
he doesn't need to feel bad anymore.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What we hate about it is all the fulfillment.
Sure.
I want to say that like with a grain of salt, because it is cool. There is, for me, like I realize that it's, for some reason, people want to hang out with me or they want something that I wrote by hand. I get that. And I like being able to help them, I guess, give that to them.
Yeah.
Just like if it's very labor intensive, we're trying to get away from that just because we also have to have day jobs. And
yeah. So I think that is the cool aspect of it, right? Is it allows you to have a little capital. I mean, not to get super businessy about it, but like have a little capital to do some of these things that you want to do just to get the album out without having to. I mean, how many bands went into debt just to survive and never got out of that debt or, paid that off for the next 10 years? And you guys can do this without that. And I think it's a pretty cool way to get, people who want to. I mean, I think I did the math and it was like $55 a person That's doesn't actually sound all that outrageous. You say the whole number and you're like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. But
Like if you're buying
$55 a
a
person.
CD for
Right.
$55,
Okay, that's a little outrageous, but
it's a bad deal.
it's
vinyl.
Clearly people were willing to pay. So
yeah. I mean, I still get sticker shock at vinyl now.
Yeah.
Like if I'm like, well, this is $28. I'll go into Target, and you just be like, oh, this is in vinyl. It's right here. And then I'm like, $30. I don't think so.
Yeah. It's only I mean, I buy some stuff. Christmas is when I ask for it from my parents who are still, my dad's excited to buy me vinyl. So it's like, I'll make him, and then it's like, all right, Stave Saker's doing something. Yeah, all right. It's a childhood fan favorite. I'll do it. So
yeah. And in terms of listening to music, like it is the best way. Like you're there, you're beholden to it. You're stuck. I have to switch this over in about 6 songs. I gotta flip it, and it sounds better. Plus, you have that whole giant record, like it's got, and people do fun things with it. It opens up and there's fun stuff inside. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, this is where I work. So this is my office that I work from, and my record player, one of my record players, is right there. So I just pull stuff out, and like if I have an afternoon with no meetings, I can just put something on. It's super fun. Like we did a show on Sandinista by The Clash, and it took me all afternoon to listen to Sandinista because I had to flip it 17 times. But it was great fun to have on in an afternoon where I had no meetings, just listening and going, well, why do they have their kids singing on here? Oh, well.
That's rad.
Yeah.
That is rad.
I love the insight because, I'm the Kickstarter thing is always interesting to me because not every band uses it too. That's the other kind of interesting. I'm surprised more of these legacy bands don't use it, but that's a whole other. I don't totally understand why some of them aren't, but I know people have had bad experiences too, so maybe that's part of it.
I think even if we had the money to just release an album, like we held back like $30,000.
Yeah,
I wouldn't do it. Like there's no buy-in for it. You're just like, here's a thing we made. Instead of like, hey, you want to help us make this?
Yeah.
So much better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, let's go on with a couple more facts. So I'm calling this the 7th studio album. Okay. I know you guys have released a bunch of other stuff, the live albums, the EPs, but we're going to 7th studio album.
Full length?
Yeah. I redid the math this afternoon, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm okay with that.
I didn't even want to think about it. I thought you were right. So
yeah, I thought about it, and that feels like one of us did. That's good enough.
That sounds great.
So the record company, Department of Biophysics, which that's the one you created for the third Brave Saint Saturn album, right?
Yes. Like you just have to come up. I mean, here you go. In the back of my head, I'm thinking like, hey, maybe this will take off. And I will make this into an actual thing. It'll become like I have a record label,
right?
Like I sign people. Never. That's never going to happen. Number one. But we just needed a name.
Yeah.
And I was working in a genetics lab, the part of the pathology department at the University of Colorado.
Huh.
And we did cytogenetics, which is like you drop slides and you make karyotypes. So you make pictures of chromosomes, and then you got to look at it and see if there's something extra or missing, right? So this is the whole thing. You're trying to diagnose diseases this way. Cancer, or like mostly like, what is this? Does this kid really have Down syndrome? And then you're like, yes, here's a picture. So you can do that. But a lot of the old equipment in there was like from the 50s. And there was like a lot of things that were marked Department of Biophysics. Because genetics was it wasn't really a thing. Like they had these microscope slides or these trays for slides that were from the 50s. And who knows what they're looking at? Tissue samples, like they're not looking at chromosomes. But so I just thought that was a cool name. And I was like, I want to, that's the one I picked at that moment. And so we've just kept it going.
I mean, it works. The it fits the motif of Five Iron, I think, and some of the nerdiness that occasionally comes through.
It's like 100% very nerdy. This is that band.
I talked about it came up because we covered the EP, the Between Pavement and the Stars, and I said it, and I was like, I'm not saying that right, am I? Whatever, we're just going with it. So, because I wanted to say Department of Biospheres is what I wanted to say, and I was like, no, it's biophysics. So,
yes,
I don't pronounce anything right. That's that is my superpower. So,
it used to be like how you described the study of human development, like embryonic development.
Biophysics?
So,
okay.
Biophysics. Nice. Yeah. Oh, but nobody uses that term anymore.
Oh, well, I wouldn't be able to use it anyway because science, me no smart. So let's talk about the producer here. Jeremy Griffith is the producer. And then Scott Kerr, I said Scott Kerr, like you don't know who he is. Scott also obviously super involved. So Jeremy, again, you kind of mentioned it. He was connected with Dennis. He was kind of somebody that you guys could easily, kind of connect with for Engine. But then you guys went back to him. Why is Jeremy somebody who's easy to go back and work with?
He's really good, first of all. Like he could be totally mean to us and yell at us the whole time, like make us feel like trash, and then we'd be like, well, this sounds really good. I guess we'll take it again. Let's just let him beat up on us. But he's not like that at all. He's like just this super cool guy. He is like one of these guys you can't tell how smart he is until you start seeing him work. Where you're just like, he's like us. This is cool. He's a cool guy. He dresses cool and has a beard. And then all of a sudden you're like, how did he hear that? What did he just do there? And so he's really good. And I think, like he lives in Nashville now. He's very successful. He's doing well. But he's still a bro. Like he would, if we were like, hey man, we're doing another album with you, which I hope we do, he will do it. And Scott doing it also. I think Scott is also very, very smart. He's made stuff like he produced all his Yellow Second albums.
Yeah.
And just keeps getting better. And so like for the Engine of a Million Plots, Scott was there the whole time. He was sat in there. Somehow he gets to work like remotely. He does web design.
Oh, okay.
He would just do a little bit of that, and then he'd get in the studio with Jeremy and just watch him and learn. So most of the production on this last album, Scott did. Jeremy mixed it, and he did vocals, which I wish, like I have lots of equipment, but I can't make myself sound good. And somehow like he gets good takes out of me. Yeah, I'll just start recording and I'll start throwing stuff away, and I don't know if it's good or not. I'll start drinking Fireball because that helps my voice, and then I make bad decisions.
And Jeremy says no, or he just lets you drink Fireball, but helps you make good decisions.
He tries to make me stop drinking the Fireball. So usually it works about half the time. I'll listen to him, and then I'm like, hey man, I just gotta, I like hit some up in the ceiling. Up at his studio, and then I just will like sneak it down and get a little bit.
You're, like, you're constantly trying to distract him. What's that?
Yeah, exactly. Is that distraction over there? And then, he'll let me. But he doesn't like it. He doesn't think it makes me sing any better. I do, but maybe it also alters my perception of my singing. So
I can't imagine. I mean, I can't hold a tune, so I can't imagine trying to sit with somebody and have somebody listen to me afterwards. I'd be like, let's not do this ever again. I don't even like my voice when I record stuff for work. I have to record videos for work, and
you're like,
yeah.
I don't sound like that, do
Right.
I?
It's like,
I sound like
why can't I control the pitch on this stupid video? I can do it on my podcast. Oh,
yeah.
crap. So,
No, I totally sound like a gay Muppet. Like I'm just like they have a gay Muppet now. This is great.
I
It's
people are going to
Reese.
disagree. Agree to disagree.
But, well,
oh man.
I mean, I've done it long enough that like I know how awful recording is. Just
Sure.
as a person, you know, like I know I would love to be in the studio with Axl Rose just to see like how can you be that cocky and do this? Because you're
Right.
just like you're like, okay, I know what I'm doing. Back in the day, I'm like, I do this for a living. I've been doing it 10 years. I'm gonna nail this. And you go in and in about 5 minutes, you're just like suicidal. Like you just are like this. I am not good at this at all. I had to sing that same word for 2 hours, you know, like I could not sing the right notes. I can't sing notes. I can't hit anything on time. What am I doing with my life? So it's gotten better, but Jeremy is good at getting me to like be calm, and he'll just get you to think about other things, or he'll like record you farting in the studio and play it back at like 10 times slower. So it's funny. He can feel it. Like he knows you're about to break. And then all of a sudden you'll just hear some sort of farting. Or last time I'd have a tantrum and I just swear, like just all the words. And then I just about lose it. And then all of a sudden I hear it at like 1/4 time where it's just like, and then you're laughing, and then you can go some more.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very good at that.
That feels pretty powerful, actually, of somebody who can kind of not only manage the technical side, but like manage the the person side. And I would guess that that's probably tricky, even like if Scott was just doing this, right?
Yeah.
Because you and Scott are so close. Like that's going to be a tough relationship to manage then, because it's like you have to trust Jeremy and just let him do it. And so that's probably is like pretty powerful, I would guess.
Yeah, and this is a side tangent, but well, I mean it's what we're talking about. But like Dennis's son Copeland is, he's going to school. He just dropped out. Like he's doing so well as a producer from college that he's like, I'm not going to go to college anymore. And his parents are like, okay, you're doing fine, dude.
Yeah.
So he's doing really well. And he was asking me, he would drive to Nashville, stop at my house, stay at my house because I'm halfway. And we were talking about school, and he was like, what do you think I should do? And I was like, hey man, if you're going to drop out, like if you're thinking about producing, like don't worry about it. You can always go back to school. Number one, I'm not trying to tell you something against your parents. Like listen to your parents because they're in charge, but you can always go back. Like don't feel like it's over. People go back. You can go back. And the older you are when you go back, you probably handle it better. Like you have a better control of your emotions. You know how to take notes better. Everything is slowed down a little bit. But I was like, take just like a general psychology class if you can. Take that, because at least 70% of being a producer is being just like a psychologist. You're seeing somebody just who has like delusions of grandeur, and then you're seeing them lose all that,
right?
Feel like they're worthless, and you have to build them up. Like, how are you going to coax out the best, the best of someone, like the best performance you can get? If somebody feels like shit, like if they just feel like they suck at what they're doing, they don't belong. Whereas when they got there, they thought they were great. How do you do that? I mean, there's so much going on.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you listen to me, but that is that is the hallmark of a good producer is I think you're a good psychologist. You're a therapist. You're able to just say, okay, man, I see what you're trying to say with these lyrics, but you need to think, I know you can do better. Like, well, let's figure this out. Like the syncopation in this is bad. I want it to be that, but what are you trying to say? Let's say that this way. Well, think of this, and just being able to coax that out of people, or like people that aren't very good at what they're doing in there. How do you get them to be better? Like, how do you get them to be a little bit more cocky and just, go balls out on the drums, how are you going to do that?
Yeah. Fireball is my guess.
Sometimes.
Awesome. So a couple more just facts. Just I would say the album art is really great for this album. You have a picture by Jordan Snowder. I probably messed their name up. I apologize. It is a unique, and then there's some interior photos as well. So it's a really cool package. And I will say it feels a little different, right? You guys have always gone more cartoony, except for Electric Boogaloo. You guys have the band picture. So I mean, just what was the idea? Was it something you guys were looking for something different, or was it more just like, hey, this is a striking image, we got to go with this?
I had this picture in my head of like when the George Floyd riots were going on.
Yeah.
I was like, I want that, but I want to find riots. I want to find something that's just like utter destruction, like what we're seeing. And then that's like inside the letters, and it's just black other than that.
Yeah.
So it was like both the last two albums, I feel like I had an idea, like trying to coax the band, like I think it should be called this. Like with Engine, we kind of turned loose to Douglas TeNapel because he had done a bunch of our other albums, and we were like, let's go with this. We'll see what we can make. But I was like, I want to call it Engine of a Million Plots because it just, that says like, this could be about anything. And then this one, where like all the songs are just like, this is so much anger. Like I want it to be Until This Shakes Apart. So part of me selling the band on that was coming up with a picture, and I found that picture. Like it was it was like in a news article.
Yeah.
And then I did it. Yeah, I had a art minor in college, so I can do Photoshop still.
Sure.
It's like so I was like, I think I can still do this in Photoshop. And I made a negative with the letters, and I was like, I just want super block letters, and it'll be on top of that. So we had like a mock-up of that I made and showed it to the band, and they were like, okay, yep, that's good. And it was like one of those rare things where we didn't really squabble. Everybody was like, I like that. This is good. So we just picked it. And then on the back side, we had to go and see if we could get the rights to the picture.
Sure. Well, I'm from Minnesota. I'm in the Twin Cities. So that was all very close to home for us. I mean, I live about a half hour south of the Minneapolis area, but like we went through my wife took our kids up through that area one day just to kind of be like, hey, this is what the news has been about. We should see how close this is. I mean, all this turmoil, all this frustration, this is how far it is from us. I know we live out in farmland. We're pretty close to farmland, but this is close, and this is real, and this is impacting people's lives. And, it's not something that's just a news story far away, but yeah, it's real.
It's rad.
So yeah.
It's rad. I also like the picture because it looks like the guy has a trombone over his shoulder. So I was like,
yeah,
that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So I have no sales data for this album. I'll say that. And
I don't know if I do either.
I tried to even look at like Spotify streams, and I'm like, the first song has the most because it's the first song is my guess. And that's the way Spotify is. So I didn't even put a whole lot of thought into that. I was just like, all right, no sales data because I can't find any. And I did find a number of very positive reviews. It was kind of from a bunch of different sources. I mean, Jesus Freak Hideout did this, as well as like the Denver Post did this. CCM Magazine had a review. There was a bunch of reviews of it out at the time. I would say fairly positive reviews for a ska band still doing music in 2021. So yeah,
Sure.
trust me, they were
I
out
know.
there.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I read any bad reviews, and
Yeah, I
I was
agree.
always just like, oh, this is cool. It feels, I don't know. It feels like we did a good thing. It was very nice.
I mean, I don't want to. I don't want to, pump your ego and make you think you can go back into the studio again, but it is probably is my favorite album of the last 5 years. So, I'm on board with that idea. But I'm kind of in the bag. So one of the things that did stand out for this album is that, like, Engine, did the Kickstarter and then 2 years in between it. I think it was because I think the Kickstarter was 2011 and then it came out in 2013. Actually, today in 2013, if you're interested, this is the anniversary of Engine's release.
Okay.
November 26th. But this one came out a lot closer, right? You guys did the Kickstarter, and then right after it, you guys were on that Bad Time Records sampler, that compilation, the Ska Against Racism.
Yeah.
And then it was only like 4 or 5, I want to say 6 months. So I'm assuming you guys had been a lot more in the can as the Kickstarter was going.
Yes. I think so I recorded the vocals for it in July
Wow.
of that year. So we didn't have very much left to do at that point.
Okay.
Some more horns and stuff. So I think the Kickstarter in this scenario was not necessary to make the album. Probably like to pay Jeremy, and we paid Scott for all his production work.
Sure.
So like it probably did that on the backside, but like studio time and like me going down to Florida to record, it was in COVID, so you couldn't fly. I drove down there.
Yeah.
That's rad. There's like one enterprise in this little town I live in, this little farty town. And so I was like, I probably shouldn't drive my car. It was like a 2003 Prius, and it was just beat to hell. I'm like, I probably shouldn't take the Prius. I'll rent a car. Band will pay for it, and I signed up for like whatever the small econo car is. And, I got there and they're like, we don't have it. Do you want this Camaro? Yes. So I got like, all I had to do was like, go see if I had like a box, like a rack mounting box. I had like I've got like a really nice compressor that I wanted Jeremy to set up and run my vocals through. So in case I had to do retakes when I was home, I could do it through the same thing. I just needed to make sure that thing would fit in the back seat, and it just barely did. You had to put it. Oh, it was a convertible. So you had to put down the top and then it would slide in. It was so cool. I don't ever want a convertible, but like renting one for a week is fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And dragging a compressor around. I'm sure there's people who are passing you on the highway, but like, it's an odd trip to be taking. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Yes. Also, I don't think anybody passed me on the highway.
Oh, I suppose. Yeah.
How fast does this go?
Everybody's at home. I can do what I want.
I know. I was like, I could probably afford a ticket down here in Alabama.
That's awesome.
I don't know.
Yeah.
A little midlife crisis came out.
So the other thing about this, so you guys you're pretty much done, or you've done a lot for this one. One of the things I've heard you talk about was that you really like how there's kind of a theme for this album. And the theme I'm going to call out that I think is the theme, and you can be like, no, that's totally crazy, is kind of like the idea of like, singing a song, having a voice, and that comes through on a number of the songs. That's one of the themes that I picked up on. So what was the inspiration for that? A, did I get the theme right? That's maybe question number one. So what was the inspiration for that theme, kind of that you wanted that to permeate through the album?
Um, so for me, I think that's like a real fear
Hmm.
is just that like I will lose my ability to sing
Hmm.
or just my ability to maybe say what I need to say or my ability to sing or my ability to be heard. But like physically to lose my voice.
Hmm.
Um, my mom she was classically trained as an opera singer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like was opera singer, like going to college to be an opera singer, but was also the captain of the cheerleading squad at the University of Toledo.
Hmm.
So like in a Division 1 school, she was captain of the cheerleading squad and doing that and then going to school for opera. And her whoever her department head was like, Ruth, you have to pick because you're gonna destroy your voice. Like you can't do
Oh.
high soprano and do cheerleading. She picked cheerleading. So like she always kind of lamented the fact that
Hmm.
she didn't do that, because cheerleading is your 4 years in college and then opera would have been, what she could have done for a living. She could have
Yeah.
done glorious things. Um, but she always would like still sing and she had a beautiful voice. And I just remember like I was probably 7. She sang in church when she had a cold and she lost probably 2 octaves like of her upper range
Hmm.
and was never the same. And so for me, like there are 500 songs that I cannot sing anymore. Like we can't do them live. There's probably a golden moment like where I could do Farsighted,
Hmm.
but it's real small. It has to be just the right amount of humidity. I have to be like in good vocal shape.
Yeah.
I have to do, scales beforehand, all this stuff, and then maybe I can get it out.
Hmm.
So I feel it like slipping. And then just like this idea of like not being relevant, like losing that, um, is kind of all encompassed in this theme of losing one's voice, like not being able to sing anymore.
Hmm.
So I wanted that thread to kind of weave through.
Yeah.
And there's another theme that I snuck in there, and it is of Peter Pan and kind of
Okay.
this idea of losing your ability. It's like of getting older, like I think that's really what Peter Pan is about. Is just like this fear of becoming an adult.
Hmm.
And losing like your dreams or your hope that you can fly. And so I just kind of wove those into as many songs as I could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember my kids caught the theme of So We Sing, and they were like, "Oh, it's a Peter Pan reference." And my wife was like, "What?" I'm like, You're not picking. I mean, that one's not woven in there. It's like straight in there, like
Yeah,
third
right.
star on the right." I'm like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Oh yeah, I suppose it is." I was like, "It's like yeah, that one's absolutely." So
It's a good song to tell all the grown-ups to kiss your ass.
well, I will say my son, that was his first year playing Little League, was the year after this came out. And I don't know if if you have kids in Little League, they do this thing where for some of the younger kids and some of the coaches, they'll do like walk up music because it's just something fun. And so all the kids get to choose walk up music. And a lot of the kids chose, like, he was 6 at the time. So they chose like just what was ever on the pop station. And my son chose So We Sing. He was like, "Dad, can I do that?" And I was like, "Sure." So I gave it to the guy and he's like, "Are there any curses in this?" And I was like, this is weird that I have to say yes to this. I never would have thought that would have happened. It's like, there
Oh,
is, there's
doggone.
one. He's like, "How bad is it?" I'm like, "They just say ass." And he's like, "Oh, I'm not worried about that." So,
Yeah.
so
Oh,
I
that's good.
was like, I would have told 18-year-old me, you're going to have to someday warn somebody about the curse word in a 5 Hour
Right.
Frenzy song. So,
I
yeah.
was trying so hard to get like I knew I would have to explain this like 1,000 times. And so I was like trying to get just this biblical hat trick of swearing. So I wanted ass, hell, and damn in there. And I got ass and damn And the guys in the band said, where I said hell, they were like, it just doesn't sound good. And they made me take it out.
Oh man.
So on the Enter the Outdoor, like that first breakdown before the second chorus, I just go, yeah. And then they were like, sounds like you just learned about cussing and you're trying it out. Like, we're taking that out. That was the end of that dream.
Oh, well, maybe if you guys get to do one more, you can find a way to get it in there.
Yes. I do like talking to people about it. They're like, are you guys not Christian anymore? I'm like, are you not Christian anymore? This is in the Bible.
It's an awfully personal question.
Hey,
for
buddy.
am I getting my driver's license renewed? So speaking of lyrics being vetoed, and you brought it up, right? The idea of a democracy.
Yeah.
So I've heard stories that you used to run, and you still do, right? You run all the lyrics by the band, but they used to get voted on, and occasionally you've had to rewrite songs like that. They were kind of like, no. But I heard on this one, you kind of put down a little veto and said like, nope, these are going out this way, or really, really pushed back and said, hey, this is what's happening. Is that true? I heard that. I don't know where I heard that. And then why now? If that, why for this album was it just felt like important to kind of stand and say, yeah, this is what we're doing?
Yeah, it is true for this album. Like I lightly put my foot down. I think if people were like, tell me to take out,
Right.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But like telling me we can't write Bullfight for an Empty Ring because it sounds like it's against capitalism or like Renegades. Like if anybody was going to stand up and be like, no, man, we can't make it about something else, something happy.
Right.
I would, that's the kind of stuff I was just like, no. And the pushback that I was getting is more like, two people in the band were like, this isn't positive enough. Like this album doesn't make me feel happy. And my response is, I don't feel happy.
Sure.
Like, do you want to go on another 2 years with me writing? Cause I don't feel it. I'm not going to fake happy.
Yeah.
I'm angry. This is what I see as wrong. Mostly I feel like this is somebody from the church at this point, like somebody in our position who has kind of stood up for all these social justice issues needs to just be like, right now, like this needs to be said right now. Like, and not in a way that was like, I mean, there's some finger pointing, which is kind of out of character for us in 5-Iron. But it's mostly towards the church and just how I feel that like there is this part of Christianity that is like this kind of cult that just follows Donald Trump and is like, that there is nothing of the character in Christ in what he does, unless it's by accident, like he, every once in a while, like will hit something and you just like, whoa. Like he'll say Zoran Mamdani went to the White House and Trump like shook his hand and was nice to him and like said he liked what he was doing to get jobs back and affordable housing in New York. And I was like, was that an accident? Like, did he not? I don't know. But like, so the pushback was more like that. And it was, a lot of it was just practical, not so much that I'm like, hey, I've got to say this, because if those guys are like, don't, then I'll just start another band that is more angry. Like I'll be like, this is my new gutter punk side project where we just talk shit about Donald Trump. But like that pushback usually before was edifying, and this time it was not. It was more just like, I want it my way. And you're not making it my way, Reese. And I was just like, I have a full-time job. This is not my job. And if you want to finish an album, this is what it's going to be.
Right.
Like you don't disagree with what I'm saying. You just don't like how it makes you feel. And that's why I'm writing it. I want people to think about it. I want people to feel uncomfortable a little bit. And definitely, like, it could have been worse. It could have been way more political. When I write stuff in 5 Iron, like, I don't want anyone in the band to be. I think the one thing is that, like, we're all kind of a family, and I don't want them to be embarrassed of me or be embarrassed of, like, what our band is putting out.
Yeah.
So it has to politically, like, still charge up Dennis, who's, like, pretty far right, and me, who's, like, the farthest left in the band, and then the people in the middle who are like, why don't you write more songs about unicorns?
Yeah.
So
I think you hit on a lot of things there, because, like, I noticed that, I want to say, tension, like, when it came out, right? I mean, I think this came out, and I think it wasn't necessarily what some people were expecting. And I think you've got this band that came from the Christian scene, and that's the way I would describe it. I think some people were really upset because they felt called out, or it wasn't edifying what had kind of been happening in the church. There were some people who I think felt the tension of it, like, oh yeah, some of the things they're saying it's maybe making me a little uncomfortable because I don't totally agree. And then there was a lot of people who felt like it resonated. And, like, I'll play my hand a little. Like, for me, it felt like it was this, oh yeah, here's somebody else saying stuff that I've been feeling for the last 10 years. I've been struggling to find a place in the church because I say things like, what happened to Mike Brown is horrible. And, that's going back even further than the Trump administration. And, you'd get comments from people. It's like, well, you should have listened. And I'm like, that doesn't seem, I don't like this. This is, and so I think it resonated with so many people who felt that tension of their church experience too. Like, I don't feel like I have a place right now, because anytime I say anything about any sort of social commentary, I get this pushback. And so I think you really hit on that, because I think some people, didn't like it. They felt pushed or just downright pissed off because they felt called out. Some people felt like, oh my gosh, I've been thinking these things, and here they are, kind of somebody else. I kind of have a home to kind of sink my teeth into. So yeah.
I'm glad that, I think that, like, when we did it for a living and we worked for a record label,
Right.
like, there was definitely this kind of, Frank was amazing in that if we had stood up and just been like, Frank, this is really important, we're gonna put ass in a song, he would be like, all right,
Sure.
we're gonna do it. He would have done it, but he also was this voice of reason that was like, they're just gonna pull your record off the shelves in the Midwest.
Sure.
People are not, and ass is not a good reason to lose the message.
Right.
So today, that, I don't know if that message, I don't know how many people stopped listening to 5 Iron because we said ass in a song, but I'm thinking not very many.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking probably at this point, that's not who we're singing to or for.
Yeah.
There's so many other bands that don't say ass and probably sing what they want to hear.
Yeah.
But, like, for us, like, I feel that, like, if we don't care if we sell albums.
Right.
Like, we want to make something that we're proud of, and something that I think there is a large portion of people that listen to us because they've left the church due to the behavior of Christians.
Yeah.
And still have that feeling like maybe it's real, but I've just shut it off because I hate that. Like, I hate having to apologize for Jesus, because that's not the character of Christ. Those people I want, like, that's who I want to write songs to, those guys.
Yeah.
And also people that have never heard of us that are like, oh, there's Christian music, or Christian music sucks, or they've heard Skillet or whatever, then they then are like, I'll accept this,
Yeah.
this is cool. And not like, it's funny because I have like those super Trumpy Christian friends still.
Yeah.
And they were like, man, it just seems like you guys aren't Christians anymore. And I'm like, really? Because this is the most biblically grounded, like most Christian album I think we've ever made. Lyrically, like there's not a single song that doesn't like at least broach a topic of Christianity, whether it's like forgiveness or protecting children or like stopping violence or helping immigrants or, all not being racist, all this stuff. Like there's not a song. There's no silly songs about not moving to Colorado on there. Like there's nothing but the gospel, and they don't want it. And so I'm okay with that. Like, go listen to Skillet. I don't care.
You mentioned like no silly songs, and like for me, I think that actually did make it also resonate. Like I'm 46. I've got 3 teenagers and a 4th one headed to teenagers soon. Like my life isn't silly right now. It's anxiety driven. It's like, how do I launch productive adults? Like, so like for me, it feels like it's even just like the reality is this: you guys aren't 22 anymore. Like you are adults now, and so like the idea of a band growing and talking about different things, I think is actually really powerful. Like I want bands to grow and try and do something different. It may not be for you, but I would rather have, Bad Religion can put out, kind of, I always pick on Bad Religion. I love Bad Religion, but like, it's kind of the same formula, but I like when bands that Squad 5 got to go try something new. That was great. I'm glad they tried. Even if not everybody liked it, I don't care. I'm glad they tried it and they did something just a little different. So I really appreciate that. And it makes it, I think, resonate more with me in a lot of ways.
All right. Thank you. I mean, I do like the silly songs. And I want to say that, like, we don't really have any silly songs. It's just like a vehicle, like Battle Dancing Unicorns with Glitter is a vehicle to say, I'm really afraid of becoming irrelevant.
Right.
Like, Blue Comes 78 is like, this is about my parents getting divorced. Like it's always a vehicle. You probably shouldn't move here. It's about us afraid that Californians are going to take over Colorado, which they pretty much have.
Right. Yeah. That's what I've heard.
Yes. But it's like, I like that too. And I like this persona of Five Round that we have where we're zany. We do it on stage. Like our stage presence is just jokes, funniness, playing a song, jokes, and then we do Every New Day, and it's not so much jokes.
Right.
but that's us, like
right.
we're silly, we're goofy, but like there's no such thing as like a straight funny song.
Right.
Jesus of Nazareth, yes. Yes. There is that. But like for our real songs, like there's no. So
well, it's funny, like you bring up Blue Comb 78, like even that, like there's these little phrases that then have become like, I like asking people, what's the line at the end of this the last great moment of my youth? Like I like people asking people that, like, what do you define as this last great moment of your youth? And people are like, I've never thought about that. And I'm like, it came from this really silly song about a uncouth sister and a blue comb, and they're like, "What? I thought you were really smart." No, you've got this all wrong. So like, I love that phrase, and you're right. It comes from it's a vehicle for that idea. So I love that idea.
Well, and like I think where I get bogged down in lyric writing is where I'm like, I need to make this song about this, and then I just start writing about that.
Sure,
it's just like, this is boring.
Yeah.
You need a metaphor in there. You need something. You got to slide that in somehow.
Yeah.
You need a better vehicle to deliver it.
On the show, so when we just are just internet friends hanging out talking about music, we always ask the question, what's your favorite songs from the album? Then we pick a couple. Do you have any that just like 5 years later, these are the ones that, whether it's just most proud of or just like, and I know they're all your songs, so I know this is a harder question potentially, but are there a couple that are just like, yep, these are the ones that really stand out, especially 5 years later?
I would say like my first favorite has got to be Renegades.
Okay.
Just because it, like I had just been fumbling around trying to write how I felt about school shootings, so I have kids now. Micah's sister was in Columbine.
Yeah.
Like she was one of the kids barricaded in the choir room. Scott's son has been in a school shooting where somebody's shooting in the school and they had to shut it down. And it's like starting to get to this point where it's touching us all. My kid got sent home because a kid got a bow and arrow and he went to school and he was going to kill somebody. Like
yeah,
everywhere. But like what I hate the most about it is that people who say they love Jesus and are Christians like are so in bed with the Republican Party and protecting the Second Amendment, which is it's just a lie that is fed to us by arms corporations. It's just every time there's a school shooting, they make $1 billion selling ammo, for AR-15s, it is we who are supposed to be just like servants of Christ, we who are supposed to suffer the children, who are supposed to just be like guardians of just innocence and especially kids who can't protect themselves. And our response is like, don't take our guns, So I was like, I have to get this into a song. And so like, really it is kind of like this, like, here's the picture of us not doing it right. But like that as a vehicle to just get to this point where like, seems like I'm pointing fingers. And then like, wait, what would you do if Jesus showed up? Like in this bridge.
Yeah.
The Son of God, all clothed in righteousness. You want his followers, but not the pacifists.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like I wanted that to just kind of turn your stomach. And for me, still listening to it, I'm like that. It does it to me. And I love the music to it. I just think it's like, it's just good ska.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite. This is probably my favorite album that we've made. And especially lyrically. Like, I just feel like every song I nailed it. Like, this is what I want to say.
Yeah.
And I got it. There's a couple lines, there's always like a couple lines or words. I'm like, I could have done better on that one. But like, of all the Five Irons, it's the least the least cringy for me.
Yeah.
Like, something I missed is, if I had to pick like my least favorite song on the album, is probably that one. Okay. Because it's about me almost getting divorced, which I did get divorced. Like, it's just raw and hard.
Yeah.
I'm not really fond of the "She made a victory" line, but it's fine. I thought it would just end up being a placeholder, and then we just left it in.
Okay.
So I was like listening to comedy. This is how I write usually, is like anytime a phrase kind of turns my attention, I'll just write it in this file, like on my phone, on Apple Pages file called Lightning. So this is Lightning. And it's from that Dylan Thomas poem, "Do Not Go Gentle." So because their words had forked no lightning, they do not go gently into that good night.
Sure. So
I feel like these are maybe words that fork some lightning.
Right.
So I keep it. I love how Wildcat turned out. Like, I love Like it was just kind of this cool sounding like laid back rock song, but like it seems like I'm angry at this guy because he's drilling for oil or he's fracking and he's poisoned water, but it's really about I I wanted to think of the person that I would be the most angry at
Yeah.
and then write a song about how they are worthy of redemption, like
Yeah.
that they can be forgiven.
Yeah.
So I really like how that one came out.
Yeah, I love the twist at the end of that one that you kind of think it's going somewhere, and then at the end you're kind of like, oh, this isn't where I expected this one to go. So yeah, it's a well placed twist that kind of brings it to life.
Yeah.
And Fox News liked it, right? They played it on Fox that one time.
Yes. Yes,
That's
they did.
Not what I was expecting. That was not on my 2022 bingo card.
No. Straight up though, like while supplies last, there's no twist in that except
Right.
that it just goes balls out at the end. And it is just like, all right, church, like here is where you're screwing up. Like this is I just wanted to just openly, like as raw as possible, just be like all these things that conservative Christianity has stapled itself to, which really like hardly biblical and not the character of Christ.
Yeah.
Just for political clout. I just cannot get behind. And it's not just that I'm embarrassed. I'm just angry at that. I don't know. Like growing up, I was tired of defending Christianity, but it was like at least, you know, you're what? Like people are like, what about Jimmy Swaggart? Or Jim Baker, and you're like, well, most churches aren't like that, and they believe you. And
right.
Now nobody does. Like nobody wants to go to church because it's the least moral thing you can do in our society.
Yeah.
Like it makes you morally reprehensible to go to church or to claim to be a Christian. And like, I want the church to see that, like what you're doing is gross.
Yeah.
And I feel like that song came out pretty good.
Yeah. No, when that one was on the Bad Time Records thing, I think a lot of us were like, okay, now I'm really excited for if this is on the album and this is kind of what it's gonna be. I remember reading it to my very hippie parents, and they were like, "Oh, I like that you've gotten into protest music finally. It's about time you came around. Just took you 30 years.
Good job, Caleb."
Yeah, exactly. So I have a question about, so I don't know if we'll get another 5-iron record, right? Like, sorry, I'll back up. Are there any other songs you want to call out? Because I'm going to try and wrap
That's
up because
good.
I don't want to get too
No,
late.
man,
I don't want to get too
that
long.
was like, that's enough of me talking about myself.
Okay, good. Let me say, so I don't know if we'll get another 5-iron record, right? I hope we do. I hope we get it. But if we don't, why is it? So I'm going to say it now. Is it Herfano? Is that the closing track?
Huerfano. Yeah.
How do you say it?
Huerfano.
Okay. Oh man, I'm never going to say it right. But
You don't have to.
I think it's a perfect closing track. And if this is where the last thing we get it, why does it perfectly close out the 5-iron discography? Because I think it's a great close to, if we end up not getting anything more. And just to this album, I think it's a perfect closing song.
Man, I love that it's the end of the album, and I love that it is kind of, this is what inspired me to do it. The word Huerfano went into the Lightning file. And it was because I remembered where we used to practice was in this house, and it was next to this block of like 4 apartments. The 4 apartments had a keystone, like in this California, in Colorado sandstone. It just said Huerfano. And we're like, why does it say orphan in Spanish? So we had to like dig around, like we went down to the library. It used to be an orphanage for Hispanic kids. So it was next door, and I was like, that's a good memory. And
Yeah.
like, what a cool thing, because we were orphans, like we were all out, like we lived together, 7 of us in this house, and we'd be on the road, like parentless, like
Yeah.
kind of the Peter Pan theme again. Um, but I think that, like, one of the things that we have that resonates with so many of our fans is that we're kind of nerds and we all got picked on. Like, we were all bullied. And I wanted to write a song just about, like, we're still here. Like, we're all together.
Yeah.
We believe in each other and we're going to pull each other up.
Yeah.
So that's where that came from.
Yeah. I think it's again, that idea of resonating. Like, I think for so many people who feel adrift in American Christianity and just feel like, I tell the story all the time that it was in 2016. I was at a church event and I remember saying, yeah, I just don't know if I can vote for a certain person who's running for the Conservative Party. And in the middle of all my peers, one person said, well, you're stupid. And not one person stood up and said, hey, we know Caleb. He's not. He's thinking this through. Like, he's not just making a flippant statement. And so for so many of us that feel adrift, I will say it, when the "You Belong" gets chanted there, it feels right. It feels special. It feels like you guys just nailed this idea of, like, yeah, this is a place, and this is a place where you can belong. And so it's one of those moments where, again, like, it just feels like such a great close. I'm a sucker for closing albums. You guys and Steve Taylor are to blame for having great closing tracks that always make me really long for a great closing track, and it's one of them. So I that's one of my favorites. I have a lot of favorites from this, but I would probably even say that's my favorite song off the album, just because it closes it down so well, and that "You Belong" gets shouted. I imagine Andy shouting it. I don't know if he's the one. I don't know if everybody's doing it, but I
think
hear
Andy is the
in it.
one that is turned up the loudest.
Yeah, I hear it, and I'm just like, oh, I feel it. So I think it's great.
And probably the one that got bullied the most as a kid. So
which is crazy. He's a big dude who seems so cool.
Well, it is character building to get bullied. He is.
Awesome.
Thanks, man.
Well, I don't want to take any more of your time, so I really do appreciate hanging out with me. It's just for context for everybody. This won't come out till January, but it's the day before Thanksgiving, so I appreciate just getting to sit down and talk about this album. Again, it's Until This Shakes Apart, released by Five Iron Frenzy. I always do this at the end of every show. Released January 14th/15th, 2021, celebrating a 5-year anniversary. Usually I give people a chance to, like, tell where they can be found online, or I don't know if you want to be found online, or if you're really selling anything. If people are selling Tupperware, this is when they do it, that sort of stuff. The podcast is coming to an end, so you're not really nothing to sell right now, right?
Right. I need to work on the next 5 Iron album.
That sounds like a plan to me, but I'm biased.
I have new inspiration. I have like feel like I can do this. I just need time.
Yeah.
Not doing a podcast weekly might free up some time.
Well, I mean, I'm sad to see the podcast end, but if that's the result, I'll take it. Cause I'd love to see you guys be able to do one more and, or even more, but if more comes, I will be first in line at the Kickstarter. If there's lines at the Kickstarter, there isn't, but yeah.
We'll make a line.
Okay, I'll hang out in my house. I'll just line up by my computer. I do remember when you guys announced the last one, I was in a meeting at work because I was working from home. And I remember just telling somebody who I was really close with, I was like, sorry, I'm not paying attention anymore. If our team gets asked a question, you're answering this because I'm not paying attention. I'm watching something. I was just totally blunt about it. She's like, what
Thank
are
you,
you
man.
watching? I'm like, my favorite band's doing something. She's like, what? It's 10 o'clock
You're
on
at
a
work.
Thursday.
Run the clock, pal.
It's like, it's fine. I'm
You got
working
time
extra.
to lean. You got time to clean. Let's go.
We were all working extra to survive COVID. So
Yeah.
I felt justified. So awesome. Well, thanks so much, Reese. I can't say thanks enough. I'm not sure what Kevin had to do to twist your arm to join. Shout out Kevin, Pickle Home Companion. He put us in contact.
He said, "Hey, you should reach out to Caleb, and it's because he wants you on this podcast." And I was like, "Oh, that's a good podcast. I will do it."
I don't know if that's true, but I'll take it.
Yes, it is.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, man.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Album Anniversary Podcast. I do want to say thanks again to Reese for joining me. Absolute thrill for me to be able to talk to him about this album and just, an important album for me. There's no way around it. The 5 Iron Records are going to be important for me. And so super exciting, super fun to talk with him. Really appreciate it. I am still on all the social media, even if I don't necessarily want to be. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Blue Sky, I'm on YouTube, and I want to specifically talk about Patreon and Facebook. First off, Facebook, I started a Facebook page for the Album Anniversary Podcast. I think it's pretty easy to find. I'm guessing if you just go into Facebook and search for the Album Anniversary Podcast, you can find it. I'm also on Patreon. I have been for a while, but I'm actually doing a paid level now. I'm going to do an extra show every month. There's a $2 level. I called it what did I call it? I still miss New Music Tuesday level, whatever. So I'm trying that out. I want to be able to do Patreon and do something a little extra, maybe help cover some of the costs of Zoom and some of the other things going on with the podcast. But please check that out. At the very least, you can give it a trial too and see some of the shows that I'm doing for that. Again, one extra show a month that'll just be on Patreon. We'll see how it goes and we'll see how that works. And my promise is to try and do it for all of 2026 and we'll see where that goes. You can always email the show, CalebTheSpypodcasts@gmail.com. I have a spreadsheet running of all the shows I'm planning on doing for next year. If you're interested in hanging out and talking about an album, let me know. We can add your name to the list and no guarantees. I got a number of people who want to talk about albums, but I always like having new people. The more variety of people we get to talk about the albums, the better, in my opinion. Please subscribe, share the podcast, follow us on the social media. Those of us who are just trying to get a podcast off the ground and who are not famous, we need all the help we can get. Leave a rating, leave a review. I've heard it is an effective way to spread the word about podcasts. Thanks so much for listening, and we will talk to you soon.